There he goes. FedEx home delivery. There's the greenhouse, ready to be positioned. Something a little different than my usual van build videos. I'm going to be installing a Simply Solar fiberglass greenhouse. There's just very little information on the web or YouTube for that matter about these things. So I thought I'd document the process, and I'm going to start at the very beginning of prepping the site. Got a couple dead trees right by where I'm going to be putting this thing, and that would be a bummer if one of those fell and hit it. So there you go. A little chainsaw humor there. Easiest way to get a hippie off a tree. Still. Right.
So we'll see if I can do this without taking out any of my stuff here. I'm a trained professional, not.
I got the trees cleared out of the way now, and I got to build up a pad here and make it kind of level. So I'm going to get some dirt here, scooped here, and make a nice pad for this greenhouse to sit on. So that's the plan today. Got the pad built up here and leveled, and I'm doing an extra step that's not required. I'm actually putting a little wooden foundation, I guess you would say. It was really easy to get that level and square as opposed to digging out a hole. Where I'm at, this is all gravel and rock 50 feet under where I'm standing. It would be really hard to dig that out, but Simply Solar recommends you remove 3 to 4 inches of topsoil or sod and set it down into that shallow excavation, right? That's what they recommend doing. And then backfilling the inside, there's a flange that goes under, and you put dirt on top of that to hold it down. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. A little bit of pushing and shoving and nudging and wrangling, and we got this thing on here. The wife and I didn't have to bother my neighbor. Now I'm putting in the corner stakes, this rebar and a little, looks like a washer welded on the end, and I've drilled them out, and I'll put those corner stakes in, and that's going to anchor the whole shebang to the ground. And I'll end up probably putting some wood strips here with some more screws to sandwich the flange down there to the foundation hole boards that I'm putting in, and then I can backfill in here. Making slow but steady progress here. It's been in the mid-90s here the last week, and it just zaps your energy, you know. Got the racks going, or the shelves. Got the corner stakes in, and these pieces of wood here are screwed through the fiberglass into the foundation on the outside. And it's anchored down pretty darn well, and these shelves are sitting on the flange also. So once I have all the shelving built and the pots on top of there, that's gonna put a lot of weight holding that down. So I'm pretty confident that this thing isn't gonna go anywhere. All right, finally got these shelving units in. It's been bloody hot here the last couple of days, and I can only take working out in this heat a couple hours before I melt. I guess I made of sugar and spice, huh? So beauty bark's in. I had some pavers, I threw those in. So I'm basically done on the inside. And the last thing is I have to install these hydraulic pistons into the brackets. These brackets up here. This one is indeed installed and seems to be working fine. It opened up automatically this morning when the sun came up and warmed it up. The problem I had was the hydraulic piston unit does not match the illustration on the box, and there's no instructions. So I had to call MI Solar Greenhouses in Michigan, their customer service. I left a message. They got right back to me and confirmed that this is indeed the right one. It just doesn't go in like the illustration on the box shows it to go in, right? You can see it's completely different how it works. So they walked me through the installation process, got me pointed in the right direction, and all is well. Anyway, very good customer service overall, which is rare these days. Now I'm in the process of doing some beautification. I'm going to put some rocks out of my rock garden here and backfill it with gravel and some mortar that I have. And then after that, I will be discussing doing a final kind of little walkthrough, show you some of the features, talk about specifications, and why I went with a one-piece fiberglass greenhouse as opposed to a conventional, you know, glass pane type greenhouse. All right, finally got the rockery completed. So basically I'm done with this project. I got a million more around here. Our summers are short. So go inside here and show you some of the features. Got a nice vent here in the front. There's a latch on the door, keep the deer out. Corresponding opening on the back. Pretty basic, you know. Here's the auto vents. I don't have that one hooked up yet. I'm waiting for a little pin. One of these pins fell out. They're sending me one. Very good customer service. This one is hooked up and operating. That's the only assembly you have to do with these. They're billed as fully assembled. They ship those little gas pistons separately because I guess they got lost in the mail or damaged. So that's the only thing I had to put together. The rest of it was just installation. So anyway, my father-in-law, my wife's father here in the U.S., he had one of these, and we would go to visit him. And he had it, I believe, in the late 70s when he purchased it. And he used it all the way up until 2008 when he got too old to work in it. And the thing I remember about it was, number one, I didn't think it would work because it's opaque. And number two, it grew vegetables like mad and made a liar out of me, you know. I'm not a gardener and I don't know anything about greenhouses really, but it did grow vegetables like crazy. He was located in Washington State where you get a lot of rain. Yeah, they perform well. And the way they work, my understanding it is they're almost kind of like a prism and fiber optic. The sunlight hits the outside, it's kind of diffused and redistributed on the inside. So the quality of light's different. It's softer and it's more evenly distributed everywhere. There's no real bright spots in here. You know what I mean? It's kind of omnipresent, the light. And you can grow things under there. He did anyway, below. So, you know, being opaque doesn't seem to really hurt the performance of them. So typical greenhouse, you know, all the simple openings and auto vents and stuff any greenhouse would have. These are made by MI Simply Solar is the name of the company. I will post a link to their website. This is their smallest 8-foot model. It's called the Hobby. They have a 15-foot, I believe, and a 28-foot, you know, more like a commercial greenhouse. These are fully assembled. You just install them, and they're good for do-it-yourselfers because this thing only weighs 250 pounds, and you saw me pushing it around on the foundation. 2 men could carry this small one. Yep. All fiberglass construction, UV stabilized fiberglass. They claim decades of use, and if my father-in-law's was any indication, that's probably a true statement. This company's been around a long time, I think at least since the 70s. Their headquarters is in Michigan. They have a factory there and one in Missouri. That's where mine was shipped from. One of the big reasons why I bought one of these was the cost for a fully assembled, ready to install greenhouse. This was $3,000 plus about $950 shipped, just under $4,000 delivered to my property. And I like that, and I like the fact that I could install it. The fancy ones that we were looking at were $6,000 or $7,000 for about the same size. They have to have a machine brought in, and they have a team of people come in and install it. You could do it yourself if you had the equipment, but those things weigh over 1,000 pounds, and you can't move that. I did this myself with my wife, so that was big for me. And the ability to handle the snow loads, that was also a big thing for me. I wanted something maintenance-free. These are pretty much maintenance-free. You might pressure wash them every other year, something like that. And you don't want to put it under a tree that's going to drip sap on it, obviously. So anyway, I guess that's kind of my mini review of this. I will post all the information in my description. And anybody looking for a small backyard greenhouse, this might be a viable option. So thanks again for watching, and I'll be back to my van build on my next video.